Best of Yvonne Podcast. I'm your host, Yvonne. Your life has an expiration date. Your dreams do not. This podcast is for women wanting to change their life for her Success Summit. Welcome back to the Best of Yvonne Podcast. I'm Yvonne, your host, and I am here with a very special guest on day 2 of her Success Summit. So my dear friend Lori just stepped off stage. She's actually my editor, my ghostwriter. She literally put all the love in my book, From Food Stamps to Fortune. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And you made putting your book together really easy with all the love that you poured into it.
Oh, it's been a fun journey, and I'm excited for book number 2. Yes, that's a secret, but it's out. Book number 2 is coming. It will probably take longer to write because there's going to be so much more in it. But today you shared so much valuable information. And I have to tell you, I don't know that I ever told you this, but my dad appears in dragonflies all the time.
No way.
So it is no surprise to me that the dragonflies brought us together. And I love that story that you shared. That was so empowering and just so
It's such a metaphor.
Yes, such a metaphor for all of this.
Our journey
Yeah.
and transformation. So for context, I shared the metamorphosis of a dragonfly, and it's incredible. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it.
Yeah.
Find it on YouTube.
And you have your own podcast.
I do, but I haven't recorded on it ever since my son went to rehab.
Okay.
I put it on pause, and I've spent the last couple years keeping kids alive and fulfilling client work. And this is a season of stepping back out onto the stage. And so thank you.
Yeah, and I think that's a beautiful part of your journey, which you talked about in writing your story and sharing your story and your personal brand is there is always a time and season, and we're all going through hard things. And her Success Summit has been such a beautiful experience, I think, for all of us to really connect and relate and hear one another's stories. And I think our stories need to be shared. And that's the beautiful piece that you bring to this grand puzzle is that you help everyone get their stories out in a book. Yeah.
And even if you don't write a book, just knowing how to capture your story in a way that resonates with your ideal client or the person that you're trying to reach. And it's almost always the version of you a few years ago.
Yeah. Isn't it so true? Yeah, we tend to show up as the woman we needed, and we tend to teach from that new perspective of what we needed. And I think that's just what makes life so beautiful. Mm-hmm. So if someone does want to write a book, like what are some of the first few steps that you recommend, whether they write with you, a ghostwriter, or if they write on their own? Maybe what are the 3 first steps they would take?
First is instead of thinking, okay, this has to be perfect, I'm writing a book, put your writer hat on and leave your editor hat somewhere else. So when you're writing, just let it flow. Let the ideas flow. And if you're an entrepreneur like you are, sometimes it's easier to speak your ideas than it is to write them. So use a tool like WhisperSync or just Rev. You can call someone who leans in and listens and asks really good questions and capture that conversation in audio, then have it transcribed, and then look at, okay, where are the places where my energy goes up as I'm reading? Or if I share it with someone else, what sections are they highlighting and saying, oh my gosh, that was so good, you have to put that in your book. So just do a big brain dump. Don't try editing, don't try organizing, just get it out of your head, because you can't mold clay that doesn't exist. You've got to create the clay first.
That's so good. So there's actually a woman in our audience that just signed her husband up with you. and
awesome.
And he's held off writing his book for so long because he doesn't have the time. And I said, I didn't either. I was running 9 businesses at the time. And it was you made it so easy. You would let me voice record, send it to you. We'd have a couple of Zoom calls and we would chat. We would just have a conversation. And I would tell you stories or things that happened. And we literally created this beautiful masterpiece by you and I connecting, and with Kathy And it was such a beautiful experience. And now that I've written one book, or we've written one book, now I know, because I went into it not knowing. But anytime I do something the first time, I always give myself grace and try not to have too many expectations. But I did put a lot of pressure on myself because I wanted it done. So the next time, I'm not going to have a deadline. I'm going to have the end in mind, but I really want it to take on its beautiful characteristics and maintain the energy, because I feel like the energy I ended with the book really affected the way the book energetically, right? Because I was putting too much pressure on it. I don't want to go in to the second book with all my life's really, really hard stories. I don't want to go in with that energy. So I'm already being mindful about that right now. How much of that do you feel plays a role in the overall end result of a book?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
I liken the process of writing a book to growing a baby. It takes 9 months to go from conception to delivery, to have a fully formed baby that doesn't have to go to the NICU.
Yeah.
And so, if you want a book that feels healthy and
Yeah.
nurtured and ready, then yeah, you got to give it a little time. And
Yeah.
in traditional publishing, that process can take 2 years,
Yeah.
3 years. Whereas with self publishing, you don't have the gatekeeper, you don't have as many hoops to jump through, and you get to be the decision maker. You don't have to go through a lot of other people to make the decisions for you. And which I love, because I love when entrepreneurs get to own their
Yeah.
intellectual property, the way things are phrased. But I definitely think that going into the process, understanding that you are creating essentially a new life, and this book has a soul, and it will impact countless others and have a ripple effect that you have no control
Yeah.
over. And so part of that is just letting go of the process a little bit and letting it become whatever it's destined to become, and not demanding that it be done by a certain time. I do love a stretch goal,
Yeah.
because as entrepreneurs, we love to move fast and we love to get things done, but also understanding that sometimes things need to take a little longer, just like babies. The due date might not be the date
Yeah.
that the baby arrives, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, it was a beautiful experience, and I definitely look forward to the second book to really just enjoy the process a little bit more now that I know what to expect. So, for our audience that wants to write a book, where can they find you?
You can go to lorilynnonline.com. That's LORILYNN online.com. I'm on Substack, Lori Lynn Loves, or Lori Lynn Online everywhere. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you happen to be online. Also, if you find Yvonne online, we are mutual connections everywhere. So you can always reach out to me wherever you find Yvonne. But there's a link that I gave to the group today, and it's Work with Lori Lynn, and it's a simple Google form, and it just says, hey, this is who I am. This is where I am in the process. I'd love to get more information from you. Can we continue the conversation? So that's a possibility too.
I love that. And you may just find us in Nashville, boot, scoot, and boogieing, because we both love to do that. So thank you so much for being here today, for bringing all the value and the love. I just love you so much, and you just mean so much, and you're such a big part of my life. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank
Yvonne.
you, everyone. We love you. Have the most beautiful day. Until next time, we'll see you back here at the Best of Yvonne.
Here. Hearts.
Hearts. Yes. Hey, besties. Welcome back to the Best of Yvonne podcast. We are here at beautiful Black Desert Resort. It is day 2 of her Success Summit. And I have a new friend, a very special guest, Dr. Rikki West, here from Seattle. Or
Washington State.
Okay,
Washington State.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
So we really just met in person this weekend, but we had met originally in a mastermind group, and I had really put it out there. I asked if we could have a few more guest speakers, and she showed up. She answered the call, and I'm delighted to share her with you today. She is brilliant. She's extremely successful in business. She is a business psychologist, really.
Yes.
So she is here to give you a few pearls, but truly share with us, our community, really what you do, how you got started, and a little bit about the journey in the next few minutes.
Okay, yes, sure. So, yeah, as you said, a business psychologist. So, really, I work with entrepreneurs and business owners to take a look at their systems, take a look at their strategies, and take a look at the psychology for the way that they're leading their business, the way that they're showing up in their business. Really, the goal at the end of the day is to help owners feel like owners again, because you don't own something unless you can give it away. So if you are a slave to the business, if you are stuck behind a desk, stuck behind a computer, stuck behind a phone, you're not owning it.
It's
you
owning
really,
you,
it is
right?
owning you, yes. And there's so many great benefits and perks of ownership and living our dream. And so just, yeah, really leading entrepreneurs back to that spark where they fall in love with their business again and can scale it and really make it exactly what they set out to do.
I love that. When you work with these business owners, it's in a one-on-one coaching. You go through, you evaluate their business, and then let's eliminate what's not working for you. Let's get you to love what you're doing. Maybe delegate. Take us like into the work a little bit deeper.
Yeah. So when I'm working specifically with the owner themselves, we focus a lot on their own identity. We focus on their personality trait because so much of what we read and so much of what we see is telling us we're supposed to show up some kind of way that isn't natural to us. It's like speaking a foreign language all day long, and then we wonder why we're exhausted when we get home to our own families. And so really working with them to help understand what comes natural to them. Where are their natural leadership traits? Where are their natural business and operational traits? And then we lean into those a whole lot. And then we find the resources or the support to delegate, like you said, or hire out, whatever it takes, to make sure that we're taking some of those things off of their plate so that they can conserve their energy and pour it into the stuff they really love doing. It's usually also the stuff that they're best at and should be doing. If I'm working with somebody who is in a leadership role that's more of a management role, sometimes that's more corporate wise or more of a small group setting. And we're still focusing on the personality traits. We're still focusing on what makes them a great leader, but then helping them to understand the systems of the business that they're within, just so that they can kind of translate their own traits in a way that the system that they're in can receive and accept and lift them up.
It's so fascinating to me. I don't know that I've ever looked at it from this perspective, but you can probably see the wheels in my mind just churning, because I know my personality and I'm love and I want everyone happy and I want everyone to get along, and that's really the environment we work in. But at the same time, it's okay, but work needs to get done, or it's like being too lenient, or so do you feel that a lot of business owners are maybe blind to some maybe bad habits or maybe their own personal insecurities that leak out into how they manage their team or lead their team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And they aren't even all bad habits. Sometimes
Sure.
they're just your natural habits,
Yeah.
and you just need to make sure that your right-hand woman is strong in some of those areas. Building a team that has strengths that you don't have, rather than a team that just kind of does everything exactly like you. You don't want a team of Yvonne minions. You want
No.
you want them to be very different from you
Yeah.
and very different from each other, because that circle is what's going to allow you to scale, to elevate, to see things in a way that you never saw them before.
So when you are working with someone, because I'm really interested in working with you for myself and my own business, what does that look like? Is this like a 6-week one-on-one 30-minute thing, or is this like a whole year process? What does that look like?
Yeah, so we can do 90-day sprints.
Okay.
I prefer a year-long process just because there's so much to dive into and so much progress that can be made. And I also love getting to watch people win. And so 90 days, that gets people on the right track. But a year means we're still together when we're celebrating. We're still together when you're hitting that 7 and that 8-figure mark. So that's fun for me. So maybe a little bit selfish on that side. But like I shared with you, my goal is to see women at that 7 and 8-figure income, that 7 and 8-figure revenue at the same rate that the men are doing it. And so I want to be around for that. I want to be around to celebrate that part of it with you too.
Yeah. And you've done that yourself. So that's
Absolutely.
why you can reach back and teach others how to do that. I think that there are so many coaches. I do a lot of coaching myself, but I will only coach from the perspective of what I've achieved. I will never mislead or misguide. And so I know where I'm headed and how you and I align. I literally spoke it out into existence that I want to work with women doing 20 million plus. And you literally landed in my lap like within a couple of hours of that those words that I uttered.
That's awesome. I love it when that happens. I love just those moments when the universe is just pulling people together
you
for all the,
can hear
for all the
this.
right purpose.
So I would love to dive in deeper on this, but where can our community find you?
On Instagram at It's Rikki West is probably the easiest. Also, my website is itsrikkiwest.com, so that's pretty easy as well.
I love it. And I want to have you back again. I want to spend more time with you.
Yes.
And share more of you with our community. But because we are here at Her Success Summit, you are getting ready to go on stage.
I know. Yeah, I got to hop up there.
Yeah. So we will see you back here next time at the Best of Yvonne. Until then, we love you and have a beautiful day.